Finally, the roof is complete. I feel so much better about this. What's going on, everybody? It's Jamie, and welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. If you're new here, we're not normally just talking about sheds and roofs and stuff like that. Normally, we're going to garage sales, thrift stores, the Goodwill bins, buying liquidation, buying wholesale from people. Basically, we're buying anything that we can find cheap to flip online, and even locally from time to time. Today's video is mostly going to be a what sold video, so if you want to stick around and see what sold for me recently to give you an idea of what maybe you could pick up or what not to pick up in some cases, you never know. It depends on a lot of things, but that I'll leave that part up to you. I'll also give you a little bit of a shed update here. As you can see, things are looking pretty good. The biggest problem now is I've got to clean up the mess that I have going all around me. As you can see, I still have got pieces around from things I've been working on. I still have some insulation and some pieces of wood on the floor. But yeah, I did finish the roof yesterday. I did wind up running that seam down the middle, and then at the back there, I sort of braced the roof just because of the way that it is in here. I did the same thing over here, cleaned it up, sort of where it all seams together. Next step now is figuring out shelving. I think I want to put a couple big shelves against the wall here behind me. Okay, so I have to clean up the room, get all this stuff out. That's, step one, and then I can start bringing stuff in here. So I'm so close to using the shed now. I think I said to you in the last video, I wouldn't bug you with any more shed stuff until it's complete. Well, it's basically complete. I don't think I'm gonna do anything to the floor. I'm gonna leave it plywood. I might throw a throw rug down or something. So it's not like I'm gonna do any flooring. The walls, the ceilings are all done. Now I'm just gonna go find the shelving that I wanna use. Probably gonna buy, I've been looking at secondhand stuff. I haven't found anything really good that I wanted to buy, but I'm gonna spend a little more time looking. But hopefully, in the next month, maybe in the next coming weeks, this will be all together. But I would hope within a month I'll be in here, and that might be good anyway. It's still pretty warm in the mornings. It's been fine. Like right now, it's nice and cool. I can open the window, use the fan, it stays nice and cool. When I was working on the roof yesterday, I didn't overheat, it was good. So, if I can get past this month, I'd be more comfortable being out here more often in September, October, November, and then it gets cold. So then we got to figure out what happens in, December and beyond. But yeah, happy with where I am right now. We're going to be basically moving in the right direction, getting things in here now after I clean up all the stuff that I just have in here. I didn't do anything with the foam panels down there that was going to be part of the roof. I probably need to return those to Amazon, to be honest. Or, I could use them. Maybe I could use them up here if I really, really wanted to, but I don't think I really want to be honest. But anyway, let's go in the house. I'll show you some things that sold for me recently, and yeah, let's get started. All right, let's kick it off with a Poshmark.com sale here. So these are Nike Zooms, Flynet racing shoes. I've had these listed for a little while. I did pick them up, I believe, at a regular Goodwill. So I would have paid about $8 for these at my local Goodwill. Yeah, these things, I adjusted the price a bunch. I had them listed as high as 70 Canadian at one point. I kept playing around with the price point of these particular shoes. They did finally sell for $30 USD, which is about $41 and 20 some cents Canadian. That's obviously right today, right? So that exchange rate's always moving, but I just wanted to give the Canadian viewers an idea of how much 30 USD is, because a lot of times on this channel we're dealing with strictly just Canadian dollar. Next, another Poshmark.com order. This was a guess, so it's not real leather, it's fake leather. It's a motorcycle jacket. This came from the Goodwill bins, and it wasn't in a new bin. It was like there was just laying there. There was like nobody interested in this thing. It had a couple little marks that I was able to clean up pretty easily, honestly, with just a wet magic eraser. If you'd go on this thing with a magic eraser dry, you might damage it, but when it's wet, it still does pull off, some small stains and imperfections. I was able to clean this one up, and it was nothing major. It was just like little black marks on it because it's like a cream color jacket, right? It's a white-ish cream jacket. So cleaned it up just a little bit, got $40 USD. I got to look at my cheat sheet for this one. That winds up being about $54.94 Canadian. And if you are going to try to use a magic eraser on like a fake leather, I would be very careful because you could damage it. But in this case, being that it was from the bins, I was willing to be a little bit more aggressive cleaning it up, and it paid off. $40 USD. I would have only paid just a few dollars for this from the Goodwill bins. Next up, from the bulk hat buy, we sold this Porsche 911 GT3 hat. These hats are pretty nice, honestly. It's got that sort of performance material. I'm not sure exactly what it's called on a hat. It's almost like a dry fit. It stretches a little bit. You see I have it listed for $45. I did accept a best offer of $35. I could have waited a little longer potentially. As you can see, it had 6 views in the last 24 hours right here. So it was getting some watches, right? I did take a best offer though at $35 because I kind of played the back and forth game with a few people and it went nowhere. So when somebody offered me $35, I decided to take it. Very happy with this hat sale. Next up, another eBay sale. I thought I'd throw this one in because last week my wife Amanda came home and she tossed me this cartridge. She said, hey, this is from our old printer at the spa. Okay, so we just went out probably about 3 or 4 months ago and bought a new printer. We bought a new LaserJet color printer, spent some good money. And this was, prior to that, I had brought a LaserJet printer that I had that was secondhand, and they used it for a bit, and then they started to run into issues, and I'm like, you know what, let's not mess around. We went and got a new one. Prior to that, when we bought the business, they were using just this inkjet printer, right? And this ink was just in a drawer, I think upstairs. So Amanda found it. She's like, I don't know what to do with this. I looked, didn't expire until March 25th, 2025. I listed it, sold within 2 days for $45. I probably could have listed it just a little bit higher if I wanted to, but I listed it in a range where I thought it would sell quickly, and it did. And like I said, I didn't have any money into this particular HP cartridge. I don't typically pick them up a ton anymore. I don't see them unless they're expired anymore, and there's nothing wrong. You can still sell expired ink. I just choose not to for the most part. But you know, you can't go wrong with somebody giving you a free one, listing it and selling it in a couple days for $45. So I thought I'd add this one into the video. Next up, from the bulk shoe buy, we sold a pair of Converse. Now I did take a best offer of $21 on these ones. That's a pretty big discount considering I just listed them. But honestly, any of the shoes that come from this buy, I probably will take pretty good discounts on, you know, unless they're like a shoe that's got really good sell-through or whatever. Converse are just so generic. Sometimes you hang on to a pair forever. They always do sell, but they don't sell fast. So, you know, when I get an offer that I can get behind, which $21 is fine for these considering what I have into them, I'm going to take it just about every time. I don't know what, I'd have to go back in the video to see what I said that these shoes could be worth. I'm sure I said more than $21, but don't be surprised if you see a lot of the sales that I make from the shoes from the shoe buy go a little bit cheaper just because I don't have a lot of money into them. You know, overall, I won't have a lot of money into them overall. It's hard to say unless all the rest of them are complete junk and then these shoes become more expensive, but I don't think that's going to be the case whatsoever. But anyway, here's the first sale from the bulk shoe buy, and there will definitely be another one in this video. Next, we have a really, really good eBay sale here. Okay, so this is a sealed cassette, Def Leppard Hysteria. You can see it's got this actually sticker. That is a Goodwill sticker for 49 cents. I was going to try to remove it, and I had some issues. I'm like, you know, I'd rather not damage the seal, so I just left it. I tried to get off the part that said Goodwill. That was about it. But there's a seal in the corners. Looks good. I did accept the best offer. It's not crossed out on this one. I don't know why sometimes it is and sometimes it is not. But this one, I'm just going to look down. I accepted an offer of $94.50 for this singular cassette tape. I did put this one in a little box. A lot of times I'll just do them in bubble mailers. Because this one is sealed and doesn't have any defects whatsoever, I want to make sure it gets there safely. So I put it in a little box, we got it shipped out, and yeah, very happy with this sale. Once again, my buy cost for the cassettes, $0. My aunt and uncle gave them to me. I went through that whole story. I'll try to link that down below if you haven't seen the cassette buy. It was pretty awesome. Sorry, it's not even a cassette buy. They just gave me the cassettes, which is crazy. Already made some pretty good money off of that, and yeah, let's get to the next one. The next pair of shoes, yes, these are from the bulk shoe buy. Allbirds typically sell for a little bit more money than this, but there's a little bit of a flaw here, which I will show you. They're in good shape. There's a little bit of speckles of something on them here, but you can see right here, I took a better picture. This is like embedded in there. It's almost like, it's not like gum, it's almost like a paint or something that's like, I scrubbed this with a wire brush and this shoe cleaner that normally breaks down stuff. And I couldn't get that out of there. So on these particular ones, they're too nice still not to list. So I listed them. They're women's size 8. Allbirds still always sell for me. They don't sell, they used to sell for like $50 on a regular basis. Now they're more like, you know, 25 to 35 depending on the model. You really still want the wool ones, which these are not the wool Allbirds, but yeah, $36 from the bulk shoe buy. So we're selling stuff from there. I really need to crack some more bags open, clean some shoes up so I can have more sales come out of here. But yeah, pretty happy about this one. This would be the second sale from that particular shoe buy. Next up, we sold this Dale Earnhardt Jr. hoodie. I definitely know I bought this from a wholesale buy from my buddy. I don't know if I would have paid 10 bucks for this maybe, but that's probably what I paid for it. But usually when we do those big wholesale buys, I take the entire number, you know, divide it by how many pieces I bought, and it's more likely that this is probably an $8 buy cost. But regardless, 40 bucks for this one. I thought I'd get a little bit more if I'm going to be honest, but you know, it's an okay hoodie. It's definitely getting vintage. I don't know if it's technically vintage yet, which is why you don't see vintage in the title. But it's a Chase Authentic here. It's probably pretty close though. You know, you could probably go back and just see when I said National Guard here. You can kind of look through some of the sponsors and see like what the car was he was driving then through the years and figure it out. But there's this one I couldn't exactly date, so I didn't put vintage anywhere. I might have put Y2K in like a little tag or something. Yeah, see right here in one of the tags I put Y2K because I was comfortable enough to put that. NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt, those type of things are tagged. But 40 bucks for this one on Poshmark. Very happy about it. Next we have a Lululemon hat here. Now this particular hat it's a running hat here, right? It's got like the little pockets and stuff. People typically use these for running or some sort of like a workout hat. But usually I'd say this is usually a running hat. I thought this would sell for a bit more money. It is used. It's got a few little maybe like a few little sweat stains and stuff on it still. I hand cleaned it the best that I could. I didn't throw it in the wash machine or anything because with hats, sometimes it messes up the bill. So I just cleaned it by hand the best that I possibly could. Buy cost on this, very, very little. That hat buy, I've never sat down. I probably will never sit down and figure out how much total that I've made from that buy, but I know I'm well into the profit. Didn't pay much for all the hats. I'm still selling them. I still have a ton of them at my booth that I'm selling. Yeah, I still have some that I haven't even listed. That's how many hats came out of that hat buy. 22 bucks for this one. Like I said, into it pennies. Very happy about the sale. Last but certainly not least, we sold a pair of UGG boots. Now these are more of a hiking boot, size 13. I had them listed just a little higher and accepted a best offer, $55. I thought that's fair given that we're basically still in summer. I picked these up at the Goodwill bins. And once again, with these boots, you know, I tried to like freshen this up as much as I possibly could. Great condition on the bottom. I think they still look pretty good. These ones came from the Goodwill bins, and I wasn't fighting for these in a new bin or anything. Nobody wanted these. I don't know if just people didn't see the little UGG thing right there. Probably could find a better picture of that right here. I didn't know if they just didn't see that little brand or whatever, or thought maybe they weren't real, or Uggs didn't make shoes like this. Uggs makes all kinds of shoes. I've sold like running shoes. They make sandals. I've sold those. They make all different types of boots, and they all, you know, they all hold their value pretty good. 55 bucks for these boots. I picked them up out of the Goodwill bins. I'm gonna say maybe $3 to $4 I paid for these. They're a little bit heavier than the average shoe, but I'm gonna say just guesstimate that was my buy cost, somewhere between $3 to $4 into 55. And like I said, I didn't have to fight for these ones or anything. They were just laying there. Nobody was even interested. Very, very happy to sell these Uggs in the summer. Now, I figured we'd end today's video here in the eBay room. I kind of sneak by my light boxes here. This room is just packed full of stuff, and then the spare room's packed full of stuff. Getting it out in the shed will feel really good. Get some space back. I'll be happy to work at this desk right here. You can see the mess that I have. I've created the mess, so there's no one to be mad at but myself. You know, I've got comic books here. I still have some hats under this table. I've got a lot of stuff. I'm going to be slowing down on sourcing a little bit. I'm going to always hit the Goodwill bins because I got to go drop my mail off in London. It just makes sense to go there. I've been trying not to go to so many thrift stores. That being said, today I'm going to buy from somebody locally, and then I'm supposed to buy wholesale from a buddy. So I'm not going to be hitting a lot of thrift stores, but you'll probably see these haul videos here on the channel, I should say, in the near future. Anyway, if you guys do like videos like this, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content, and we'll see you soon.